Hello and what is up YouTube? My name is G3 Iron and today we are taking a look at 5 fun ways to gamble away all of your currency at the end of a Path of Exile league. First off, big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for your continued support and welcome to the channel if you're a new subscriber. We've had hundreds of you subscribe over the last couple of weeks, and so welcome to you if you are new to the G3 fam. So assuming you don't want to take your currency with you into Standard, what are some ways in which you can finish your league with a bang or a boom, a massive finale? Well, today we're going to take a look at 5 different ways that you can do this. So first off is through divination cards. You can see right above me I've got PoE Ninja pulled up, taking a look at different prices on divination cards in the present league that we're in. And there's lots of different ways that you can spend your currency on divination cards, acquiring divination cards by the dozens, by the hundreds, and then you can either turn them in for profit, hoping that the card itself will return something fun or hilarious or valuable, or you can turn in div cards for items. So I've compiled a short list for us here. Emperor's Luck is a great one to turn in for profit, and by great I mean terrible. It's great to gamble with, it's not very profitable whatsoever. Of course, if you hit it, like, there's always the moment in time, right? There's always that gambler's fallacy. Oh, if I just get 5 mirrors on the next set of cards that I turn in, then it will pay for everything that I've spent so far. But the reality is you're probably going to get 5 blacksmith's whetstones. That's probably what you're going to get, and that's if you're lucky. The Gambler is another wonderful divination card that you can gamble away with. It simply gives you a divination card. For folks that are going to be gambling using divination cards, make sure you go back and check your divination card tab to see if you've got any full sets of the Gambler before you decide what else you're going to start acquiring and spending your currency on, because oftentimes the Gambler might give you back a divination card that you'll want to just go and acquire a bunch more of, or give you a very valuable card that you could say, you know what, I wasn't going to spend my currency on this, but why not? We'll give it a shot. Thanks so much, Gambler, for giving me a random divination card. For me, usually it's just giving me the Whispering Ice divination card, which is worth absolutely nothing in League right now. Jack in the Box is the third one, which can give you any item in the game. So yes, that includes Headhunter, it includes league-specific items, which is great. The Jack in the Box can be profitable. It is a gamble. So again, all of these are gambles. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying any of these are guaranteed to return you anything other than memes. Fourthly, the Void. The Void can actually return you anything. It can return you currency. It can return you an item. It can return you divination cards. The Void can simply return you anything. So it's quite fun to turn in sets of the Void and see what you get back. You can also turn in for items, hoping to get well-rolled uniques or perfect uniques or close to perfect uniques or just crappy uniques that then maybe you're going to interact with in other ways that we'll chat about that you can potentially either divine or corrupt later on here in the video. So maybe you're hoping to get a Headhunter. You can go for the Wretched, the Valkyrie, or the Undaunted. All 3 of those cards can produce the Headhunter. The Wretched giving you a belt, the Valkyrie giving you Nemesis items, and the Undaunted giving you Nemesis items as well. The Samurai's Eye, which of course provides you a Watcher's Eye, so if you don't want to run, you know, a bunch of Uber Elders at the end of the league, because typically at the end of the league you're done with your time investment in the league, and so when you're gambling away your currency, you just want to see what your currency can get you at the very end, and maybe you hit a GG triple rolled, you know, Vitality or Purity of Elements, or really triple rolled anything, maybe a triple rolled Hatred Watcher's Eye. Chances are you won't, but if you do, it'll be pretty awesome. Next up is the Risk. The Risk is a wonderfully fun card to turn in because it gives you Ventur's Gamble. Ventur's Gamble has got so many different roles on it. It is ridiculous, and they are so varying, so widely swinging that can go from negative to positive that can make the ring absolutely worthless to absolutely priceless. So the Risk is another fun divination card to turn in. And the Obscured. I added this to the list at the very end as I was thinking back through different possible combinations, and with all of the meta and all of the craze being rushing to a level 100 right now through farming Breachstones, I figured the Obscured would be a fun one to see how many different Breachstones you could get and how many different sets of the Obscured it would take you before you got a Chayula Breachstone. All right, secondly, currency spamming. You can just straight up spend your currency without trading for a bunch of div cards. You can just use your currency on items that you've already got. So first off, you can chaos spam a base item that's maybe a high eye level item, or that maybe is a Shaper or Elder base, to hopefully just get lucky results. I did this at the end of one league where I simply had 1,000 chaos sitting around, and this was before I was really migrating everything over to standard and playing at all in standard. And so I just spent like 1,000 chaos on a bunch of different stuff to see if anything good came out of it. Spoiler, no, it didn't. But anyway, it's fun to do. The second one that you can do with your currency is to divine spam uniques for high-end rolls. A couple of different uniques that are great for this are Lore Weave. Lore Weave, generally, the longer a league rolls on, the price on Lore Weave goes down. So one of the fun things that's great to do is collect unique rings throughout the course of a league, or simply purchase up low-priced, low-value lore weaves at the very end of the league, and then set them in a stash tab, and then spam divines on them and see how many you can get, maybe with perfect elemental damage, maybe with perfect all elemental resistances across the board up to 80. Third thing that you can do is to chance spam normal bases for uniques like Headhunter when Nemesis is available on map mods from Zana. And I actually found this interesting thread all the way back, dating back, this is like ancient history in PoE lore, from 2012, 2013, where Chris confirmed in this thread, Chris Wilson, lead developer at Grinding Gear Games, confirmed that there are indeed different rarities for different uniques, but it only matters with the Orb of Chance if there are multiple uniques for that base type. If there's only the one unique for that base type, then the chance has a fixed value of rolling it. This means that it's best to use chances on base types that can generate a good unique or a valuable rare. So if you can find a couple of base uniques that are valuable and then spend a whole bunch of chance orbs on them, that's always fun. I've heard stories from a couple of different people this league that have chanced headhunters. Some have spent thousands of chaos in order to do it in maps, and others have spent just a few. So take it with a grain of salt. Chancing can be very, very profitable, or it can be a way to gamble away all of your currency at the end of the league. All right, fourthly, you can fossil craft now, thankfully, using currency spamming methods. You can go for the Bloodstained Fossil, which adds a Vaal mod onto the item. You can go for the Sanctified Fossil, which gives you lucky rolls on the mod numbers, as well as higher level of mods that are more common on the particular item. You can go for the Faceted Fossil, which gives more socketed gem level mods. That's always fun. You can go for the Glyphic Fossil, which gives the Corrupt Essence mod onto the item, or you can go for the Enchanted Fossil, which is actually really, really cheap right now, considering would you rather spam run a bunch of Uber Labs at the very end of the league? No, because you're gambling away all your currency. You're not spending your time farming content right now. You want to spend all your currency and get it out of your system. It is literally burning a hole in your stash tab, and you just want to get rid of it. Go buy a whole bunch of Enchanted Fossils and then spam them away. See what kind of lab enchant you get. The third way to gamble away all of your currency at the end of a league is through beast spamming. So there is a collection right here of 8 different beasts that you can use, and I've pulled up a list of these beasts right here from PoE Ninja that you can actually go and just price check, depending on what league you're in, the value and the price of each of these. So Ferric Tiger Alpha gives you Feral's Den, which right now Feral's Fur is incredibly value. I actually just found one in one of my standard stash tabs and sold it for like 40x today. So that's fantastically valuable, and that was in standard. In league, I think the price is a little bit different, as it usually is, but Ferric Tiger Alpha, if you want to gamble on it, you're not guaranteed to get the Feral's Fur, but it's a fun way to do it, and it's relatively quick way to spend a lot of currency because it's usually pretty expensive to get that Tiger Alpha. Fenumal's Plagued Arachnid drops 10 currency as a recipe, which can be fun. Very, very similar to Emperor's Luck. Chances are you're going to walk away with 10 chance orbs, but maybe you could get 10 exalts, so why not buy a whole bunch of them and run them? It's the end of the league. What the heck? The Fenumal Hybrid Arachnid, which unlocks Fenimus's Den, which of course can drop the Fenimus Shroud Robe, which isn't worth that much in league right now, but it's the most valuable out of all of his particular unique drops. The Craic Spider Crab, which is of course the same thing as the Fenumal. It can drop unique items based from Craisen's Carapace. That's the highest value one right now. Sockwine Rex, which drops the Sockwall's Roost, the Sockwine Wretch, which drops a unique belt. So if you want to craft and go for that Headhunter and you want to do it through beast crafting, buy up a whole bunch of Sockwine Wretches. Same thing is true for the Craic Squid, which can simply drop a unique item. So if you want to farm up some awesome unique items, that's another way to do it. And then of course, any rare with the Spectral Swipe mod on it converts a unique item into another unique item. So if there's a particular unique item that you're farming for, I wonder if there's any chase items that people are farming for at the end of the league and want to gamble away all their money on. That's the way, or at least one way to do it. The next way that we can spam and gamble away all of our money at the end of a league is through corrupting and double corrupting. Thanks so much, Alva. We're glad to have you back. So I've done this a couple of times. Most recently, I did it with like over 100. I think it ended up being 108 Alpha's Howls, which was a really, really silly thing to do. But anyway, we collected a bunch of Alpha's Howls and then we corrupted them, just single corrupted them. And most often, what you're looking for on a corruption, of course, everything is a little bit different for rares, but on uniques, a lot of the time, the value can go up on the item if you hit +1 to maximum endurance charges, +1 to maximum frenzy charges, or +1 to maximum power charges. Also, +1 or +2 to the level of gems inside the particular item is usually pretty valuable. That can hit +1 or +2 AoE, +1, +2 elemental, +1, +2 aura, etc. It can be quite valuable if you're looking to Vaal stuff, see the results, and then maybe flip it for more currency to then go and gamble away more of at the end of the league, because what the heck, why not? You can also, of course, double corrupting for the lulz, which, minor side note, does anybody remember typing LOL with the 0? I remember that was a fad for like maybe a year, maybe 2 years. I remember in League of Legends, a lot of us did that. You typed LOL and you only used the right hand because it was like L is right next to the 0. I mean, O is right next to the L too. But anyway, does anybody remember that? Anyway, so you can double corrupt for a couple of different outcomes. One is that you're a stupid exile. Haha, stupid exile. And poof, there goes your item. Which those highlight videos, by the way, I will take a wild guess that we are going to see a lot more of them coming out. At the end of every league, streamers are going to go back through their stash tabs, find the awesome stuff that they've got, decide whether or not they're going to keep it for standard, and then poof, maybe they're going to try and double corrupt it on the altar of corruption. You can also get sweet GG results, which I'm sure many of you have seen in item showcases, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's on Twitch, whether that's on Reddit, or whether that's on the forums. There are some absolutely grotesque, game-breaking double corruptions that are possible from the double corruption chamber. And then, of course, there's also that other outcome that's possible, which is that you just get a crappy rare. Like, hey, I did have this perfectly rolled 6-linked at Ziri's disfavor, but now I've got this like 200 DPS two-handed maul axe. That's terrible. So yeah, if you want to gamble away all your money, go do that. Go buy a bunch of double corrupting chambers from other people, trading them in trade chat or in global. Fifthly, and the final way that you can gamble away all of your currency and items is through social experiments. This is by far the biggest way to troll and the funniest way that I've found, which is creative gift giving. So a couple of ways to do this, and I'm sure you guys have got ideas. I'm sure I'm not the only person that has done this or witnessed this, but there's a couple of ways that I like to give stuff away. So in global chat, you can go for quick responses like, hey, guess a number between 1 and 100, and I'm giving away, I don't know, like a 6-linked Impulses, or I'm giving away a perfectly rolled Combs Heart to the winner. And then you just see chat fill up with a bunch of people spamming numbers, and lo and behold, whoever picked the winning number that you had in your mind, boom, you give them the particular item or currency that you were giving away. Secondly, you can say, hey, first person to link, insert low-end currency here, I'm giving away whatever, whether that's currency or an item. That can actually be really, really funny to do because a lot of people, of course, are mapping or interacting with content. And so if somebody's in a map, they're not going to have like, you know, a blacksmith's whetstone, or maybe they'll have a scroll of identification, but are they going to have like a, I don't even know. Maybe are they going to have like chaos on them, or are they going to have an orb of regret on their character? Like chances are they won't. And so of course people who are just sitting around in their hideouts who are reading chat are going to be like, oh wait, I've got that in my stash tab, and you'll see a bunch of people link random random different currency in the chat. It's pretty funny. Then, of course, there's the third option for quick chat, global chat quick responses, which is what word best summarizes your build, and then you just pick a winner, whoever maybe makes you laugh. I've seen some other suggestions here that other folks have done in the past, like, hey, tell me a joke. I'm giving away a 6-linked lore weave. Give me tell me a joke that makes me laugh, and I'll give it to you. And seen some really wacky stuff that's come out of that. Had some pretty wacky PMs that have come out of that one, so I usually reserve that for only one use per league. You can also, of course, give away an in-guild chat. You can reward other guildies for hanging out. So this is especially effective if you're a guild leader or a guild officer, and you just notice that maybe you've got new players in guild that came in like halfway through the league, or you've got people that really are still enjoying the league content and could use some of your currency or could use some of your gear to continue or build or progress a build that they're working on. That's always a nice way to reward other guild members and do a favor for other people who play the game with you. And thirdly, you can give to a friend who you know who plays Standard. I've got some words of warning here for you, YouTube. Some words of warning. Don't give it to me, so don't leave me a comment down below saying, hey, Iron, I'm going to give this to you, because I'm going to say no. I've had people try to give me stuff in the past, and it's just turned out really, really poorly. I had one guy try to give me stuff in a league, and then, like, for a bunch of weeks, he just spammed me on different accounts, like, harassing me. It was really, really bad. So don't give it to me. Give it to somebody who you know, a friend who actually plays Standard. That's actually a really nice thing you can do. Some of your friends who play Standard might go, oh, that's sweet. I'm working on this other thing in Standard, and so your currency or your item would actually really help me. So don't give your gift to a random streamer. Don't go into some streamer's chat and say, hey, I'm going to give this to you. I'm done with the league. Don't give it to a random YouTuber. Don't give it to me. Give it to somebody, one of your friends, a guildmate that you know is going to enjoy your gift of your currency or your item in Standard League. And then always remember to be friendly and be quick giving your gift, because, you know, people who are still playing the league are still playing, and so you're interrupting their map, you're interrupting their next lab run, you're interrupting their next leveling process. So yes, you're having fun with it, but make sure that you don't take up too much of people's time. Be quick to give out your gift, and thank everybody for participating in your hilarious trolley gift giving. So what are you going to do at the end of the league? Will your currency go with you into Standard? Will you gamble away your currency? And if you choose to gamble away your currency, how are you going to do it? Are you going to do it through div cards? Maybe through beast crafting, maybe through currency spamming? What are you going to choose to do as you gamble away your currency? And then if you're going to give it away, how are you going to give it away? What's that decision-making process look like for you? Thanks so much for watching, and of course, you can always subscribe and like with the little bell down below, but you guys already know how to do all of that for more daily PoE content, and I hope that today is the day that a Mirror of Calandra drops for you, and you can go spend it on all sorts of things as you gamble away all your currency at the end of the league.